I have allowed a profound connection to move quietly toward your life, not through loud commotion, but through a gentle recognition that has caused someone somewhere to begin seeing you with different eyes. Beloved child, pause for a moment and allow your heart to become still, because what is changing does not come from anything you have tried to display, nor from any attempt to attract attention. It began with the sincerity you continue to preserve within a world that often encourages people to wear masks. Perhaps you have not yet met this person fully, or perhaps there has been only a very small sign between you, a brief conversation, an accidental glance, or a presence just strong enough to plant a question within their heart. But from the moment they recognized that you were unlike those they had encountered before, the familiar stillness within them began to shift. This is not because you are perfect, but because you carry a rare honesty that does not need to speak loudly in order to make someone stop and reflect. You do not need to rush to identify this person, nor should you search through every sign in an attempt to force a story to appear before its time. I do not want you to live in tense expectation, looking at everyone who passes and wondering who is destined to remain. What belongs to you will not require you to sacrifice peace in order to find it. Continue living fully, caring for yourself, and walking in truth. If a connection is being formed, it needs room to grow naturally, without being distorted by imagination, fear, or the desire to control. You do not need to prove what you feel through public declarations. The most beautiful confirmation is found in the way you remain calm, refuse to chase illusions, and do not lower your standards merely because loneliness has lasted a long time. The person who may enter your future has passed through seasons that left them tired of superficiality. They once sat among many people while still feeling that no one truly touched the deepest part of them. They experienced relationships that began brilliantly but quickly became empty, and conversations that lasted late into the night yet left nothing behind the following morning except exhaustion. They learned how to smile when expected, say they were fine while inwardly confused, and continue moving as though disappointment had left no mark. Yet your presence, even through very small things, reminded them what it felt like to be genuine. You did not try to impress them, and this is precisely what drew their attention. You did not display your kindness, but the way you listened, cared, and preserved gentleness in difficult situations left an impression deeper than any glamorous appearance. At first, they may not understand why they keep remembering you. It is not necessarily your face, position, or visible achievements. What confuses them is the unusual peace you carry when you are not trying to become someone else. They remember how your voice changes when you speak about something you truly cherish. They remember the way you look while listening to a story no one else was patient enough to hear to the end. They remember that your silence did not make people feel trapped, but opened a place where they could breathe and stop pretending. These details may seem small, but to someone who has lived too long among shallow connections, they are like drops of water falling upon ground that has been dry for years. Understand that genuine attraction is not found in causing someone to lose control or think about you obsessively. Healthy love is not built upon fixation, but upon recognition, respect, and the voluntary desire to draw closer. If this person truly senses something special in you, they will not remain only within vague thoughts. Over time, sincerity will move them to understand you more deeply. Speak with respect, and approach through responsible action. I do not want you to mistake intense but inconsistent emotions for evidence of a sacred connection. What is worth preserving must be able to stand beneath the light of truth. It should not only make the heart tremble, it should also bring safety, clarity, and a willingness to build. Perhaps in the past, you were drawn toward people who forced you to guess, pursue, and continually question whether you were good enough. That instability was easily mistaken for passion because it produced powerful emotions. But your new season does not need to repeat the old pattern. The right person will not use silence as punishment, appear only when lonely, or require you to prove your value continually. They will be curious about your true self. Respect the boundaries you establish, and refuse to treat your sensitivity as a weakness to exploit. Near them, you will not need to perform strength at every moment. You will be able to admit that you are tired without fearing contempt. Express your needs without shame, and preserve personal space without being accused of insufficient love. While this connection has not yet taken clear form, I want you to continue cultivating your own life. Do not place all your joy upon the arrival of another person. Build your work. Care for your health. Nurture healthy friendships. And learn to become a place of peace for yourself. A partner is not sent to complete the parts of your life you have neglected, but to walk beside you upon a road both of you must help build. The more deeply you understand yourself, the more clearly you will recognize who approaches through love and who is merely attracted to your light but unwilling to respect its source. Do not entrust your heart to someone who loves only the feeling you give them but is unwilling to know who you truly are. I am also preparing you to receive a love that is not loud. After experiences that taught you to fight in order to be seen, peace may initially confuse you. You may wonder why everything is not intense or filled with the same upheaval as before. But beloved child, not every profound love must continually pull you through storms. Some connections grow like morning light, not overwhelming the eyes, but gradually making everything visible. They are built through promises that are kept. Difficult conversations handled with respect, and ordinary days when both people choose to remain present. Learn to recognize the beauty of stability, because it may be what your heart has always desired but has not yet learned how to receive. If this person is quietly thinking about you, allow them time to understand what is happening within them. You do not need to step forward and complete their part on their behalf. Each person must accept responsibility for their emotions, fears, and decisions. A mature person will not leave you guessing forever. When they become clear, they will approach through words and actions that agree with each other. As for you, keep the door of your heart open, but do not dismiss its guardian. Openness does not mean granting access to anyone who knows how to speak gently. Observe how they treat people who cannot benefit them, how they react when disappointed, and how they respect refusal. These things speak more truthfully than every beautiful promise. My child, what allows someone to recognize you is not a flawless exterior, but the authenticity you preserved through many difficult seasons. You were wounded, but did not choose cruelty. You were misunderstood, but continued trying to speak honestly. You passed through lonely days without allowing loneliness to make you someone who only takes from others. This powerful gentleness makes your presence different. Yet, do not place yourself above others because of it. The gift you carry is not meant to cause you to be worshipped. but to teach you how to build a love in which both people are heard, respected, and allowed to grow. Therefore, continue walking in peace. Do not name the future before it arrives. Do not place a sacred story upon someone who has not yet proven sincere. And do not deny your feelings merely because you fear being hurt again. Allow time, truth, and action to bring everything into the light. If this is someone capable of walking beside you, they will not only sense what is different within you, they will know how to value, protect, and respond to it through responsible love. In the meantime, live as someone who is already loved, neither deprived, afraid, nor chasing anyone. The goodness approaching you will not require you to lose yourself in order to keep it. It will meet you in authenticity, grow through respect, and become a place where both of you can move forward together in peace. Remain with these words a little longer, because what I am about to reveal concerns not only someone who may enter your life, but also the way genuine love is changing their understanding before either of you has fully named the connection. For a long time, this person believed that love needed to be complicated in order to possess value. They treated mixed signals as depth, distance as something that had to be endured to prove devotion, and unfinished conversations as an unavoidable part of affection. They became accustomed to guessing, waiting, analyzing every word, and wondering where they stood within another person's heart. Instability became so familiar that peace began to feel strange. But then your presence crossed their path like a quiet wind, neither loud nor demanding, yet strong enough to shake every old definition they had tightly held. You did not enter their life to break it apart through a dramatic event. Your natural sincerity is what has made it impossible for them to see love as they once did. You did not create a perfect image in order to attract attention, nor did you use beautiful language to conceal the places where you are still learning to heal. You have silences, fears that are difficult to name, and moments when you do not know how to express emotion. Yet, even within your unfinished parts, you remain honest. This person is beginning to recognize that you are not pretending to be extraordinary. You are simply living in accordance with your true nature. That unsettles them, because in a world where many people learn to perform care, your uncalculated gentleness has become rare. They are not attracted to glamour, but to the feeling that near you. They do not need to become someone else in order to be accepted. This recognition did not arrive in a single moment. At first, it appeared only as small thoughts that they quickly pushed aside. They began wondering why a conversation with you could make their heart feel lighter, and why your calmness caused them to recognize how exhausting former relationships had been. They looked back at those who had once stood beside them and suddenly realized that what they had tried to call love was often dependence, anxiety, or fear of being alone. The peace you carry did not immediately make them comfortable. Instead, it made their old wounds more visible. You became like a mirror that did not condemn, yet reflected accurately what they had grown accustomed to enduring. The more they observed you, the more difficult it became to return to shallow relationships without feeling that they were betraying the truth they had just discovered. There are moments when they suddenly smile as your image crosses their mind, even without an obvious reason. They imagine conversations you have never had, a home that does not require noise to prove that it is alive, and ordinary days not covered by the need to remain defensive. They wonder what it would be like to stand beside someone who listens without rushing to judge, loves without controlling, and remains without forcing the other person continually to prove their worth. These thoughts bring both hope and confusion because they once assumed that profound love had to exhaust a person. You are now helping them recognize that the deepest things can possess a very ordinary appearance: safety, consistency, words supported by action, and permission to be themselves. What moves them most is the way you preserved warmth after everything you experienced. They know you did not arrive here through an easy journey. They sense that you were once misunderstood, gave in the wrong places, and spent nights gathering broken pieces without wanting anyone to see. They know you had enough reasons to become cold, close every door, and treat affection like a contest that had to be won. Yet you still possess the ability to care, remain patient, and preserve quiet hope for what is good. Your gentleness was not born from naivete. It remained after you discovered how deeply pain could reach. This causes them to respect you more because they understand that a tender heart surviving hardship is not evidence of weakness, but proof of rare strength. I also want you to understand that this person is gradually recognizing that you do not give your trust hastily. You may speak pleasantly, behave kindly toward many people, and seem approachable, but very few are permitted to enter the deepest rooms within you. You observe longer than others realize. You listen not only to words, but to whether someone keeps their word, how they behave when they do not receive what they desire, and how they treat those who cannot benefit them. Temporary excitement no longer wins you over because you learned that consistency is what nourishes trust. Your future partner recognizes this and understands that if they desire closeness, they cannot bring only powerful emotion, they must bring honesty, maturity, and the ability to remain. Strangely, your caution does not make them want to leave. It makes them become more serious about themselves. They begin examining the contradictions within the way they love, the habits through which they avoid emotion, and the promises they once spoke too easily. They understand that your heart is not a place entered through confusion. It is ground requiring respect, patience, and transparency. They no longer want a connection that merely relieves loneliness for a moment. After sensing the peace within you, they begin longing for a love capable of building, a relationship in which both people accept responsibility for their growth. Silence is not used as punishment, and vulnerability is not treated as an opportunity for manipulation. Do not believe it is your responsibility to persuade them or accelerate the process. Genuine love does not require you to chase someone in order to prove that you are different. Allow the consistency of your life to speak on your behalf. If this person is truly being prepared to walk with you, they will learn to approach with clarity. They will not leave you continually guessing about their intentions or turn affection into a game of pulling close and pushing away. What I am forming is not a connection based upon fear of losing one another, but the conscious choice of two people who know who they are and what must be preserved. You do not need to lower your standards because you are afraid of waiting. Temporary loneliness is lighter than returning to a cycle that steals your peace. Receive these words as a reminder, not as a reason to cling to an imagined image. Do not search for this person within every glance or attach meaning to every coincidence. Continue caring for your life, completing what has been entrusted to you, and keeping your heart open without abandoning discernment. The right love will not pull you away from purpose, cause continual anxiety, or require you to forget yourself in order to make someone remain. The right person will see your depth without trying to exploit it. They will value your gentleness without turning it into a place where they release chaos they refuse to heal. They will understand that receiving your trust is a gift that must be preserved through consistent action. Beloved child, one day this person will recognize that your heart may become the safest place they have ever known. But this safety will not come from your carrying every pain on their behalf. It will come from the way you create room for truth to be spoken without ridicule. Love while preserving boundaries. And refuse to run when a conversation becomes difficult. At the same time, they must also learn how to become a safe place for you. Love cannot consist of only one person who continually understands, yields, and supports. A blessed connection contains balanced exchange, where both people are seen, cared for, and encouraged to become their most truthful selves. Therefore, remain peaceful and do not rush. Your sincerity has awakened within this person a longing that former relationships can no longer satisfy. They are being invited to leave uncertainty, confront fear, and relearn how to love through clarity. You are being prepared to receive love without losing yourself within it. When the time comes, neither of you will need chaos to prove that your emotions are real. Peace will no longer feel foreign to them. It will become the home you build together. And you will understand that the deepest love is not the kind that continually makes you fear its loss, but the place where you can breathe, live authentically, and know that your presence is received with sincere appreciation. The coming days will carry great significance, not only for your individual growth, but also for the renewal being prepared for your family. Therefore, do not enter this time with a scattered mind or a heart carried away by every small disturbance. Hold firmly to what I have quietly revealed, even though it presently resembles seeds that have not yet appeared above the soil. Your inability to see the entire picture does not mean I have not completed the design. What I am arranging is greater than your ability to imagine. And my power is not limited by the money you possess, your present relationships, your family circumstances, or the doors that remain closed. You often look at what is before you and wonder how anything can change. But I see the entire road, the timing, and the people who will be brought at the right moment. Time is moving, and many things that once appeared unrelated are gradually converging. A conversation, a decision, an opportunity, or an apparently ordinary meeting may become an important link within what I am building. Therefore, live attentively, not with the tension of someone continually waiting for danger, but with the awareness of one who knows that each day may carry guidance. Do not allow busyness to cause you to overlook simple signs. I may guide you through an idea that repeatedly returns. Timely counsel, peace when standing before a choice, or healthy uneasiness, reminding you to slow down. The coming days do not require you to understand everything. They require only enough stillness to recognize the next step. I am preparing opportunities that cannot be explained solely through your strategies or calculations. This does not mean you may live irresponsibly while waiting for a miracle. You must still prepare. Refine your abilities. Keep your promises, and complete the work in your hands. Yet there will be moments when you realize that the result exceeds what your effort alone could produce. Someone may mention your name in a room you have never entered. A door may open through a relationship you did not pursue. An opportunity you believed had passed may return in a form better suited to you. This is not an invitation to pride, but a reminder that you do not need to control every part of the future. Your part is faithfulness. Allow me to arrange what remains in a good way and at the proper time. During this period, you must keep your heart steady. Do not allow good news to make you so impulsive that you lose discernment. Nor let one small delay convince you that every promise has been cancelled. Some people are peaceful only when everything happens according to their expectations. But this is not mature peace. Genuine peace remains when you do not possess every answer, when schedules change, and when a door fails to open at the moment you desire. It does not deny reality. It allows you to see reality without fear distorting it. When your heart is calm, you can recognize what needs to be done. When your mind panics, you are more likely to pursue rapid solutions carrying long-term costs. Therefore, before every significant decision, give peace enough time to speak. You often believe peace means doing nothing, but I want you to understand that peace is a form of protection. It guards you from hasty words, fear-driven decisions, and relationships you enter merely because you do not want to be alone. When peace stands at the doorway of the heart, not every opinion is allowed inside. Not every invitation is accepted. And not every provocation requires a reaction. You can hear criticism without allowing it to define your value. You can watch someone leave without immediately chasing them and begging them to remain. You can confront a shortage without instantly believing your future has collapsed. Peace does not make you weak. It keeps you clear enough to use strength in the right place. I will also use this peace to protect your family as I guide everyone through change. Not everyone will immediately understand what is happening. Some people will react because they fear what is new. Others will cling to old patterns because they are familiar, even though those patterns caused harm. Do not become someone who argues with everyone in order to prove that you are right. Your role is not to force everyone to change, but to become a stable presence while they remain confused. When others are anxious, speak calmly. When disagreement arises, listen before answering. When a relative reacts from a wound, do not instantly treat them as your enemy. Some things can be healed only when one person in the family refuses to continue reacting in the old way. The days ahead may require you to stand in a more mature position. You may be invited to make a decision affecting many people, manage a new resource, or speak about something the family has avoided for too long. When that happens, do not allow fear of misunderstanding to silence you. But do not let haste turn truth into a blade. Speak with the purpose of building. Establish boundaries without humiliating others. Refuse what is unhealthy without cultivating hatred. Your leadership will not be recognized through controlling everyone, but through your ability to preserve integrity while surrounding emotions become chaotic. A genuine guide does not need to force everyone to look at them. They need only to keep the lamp bright enough for others to recognize the road. Remember that the elevation of your family does not necessarily begin with one enormous event. It may begin when one person decides to stop repeating words that have caused harm. It may begin when finances are managed more transparently. Adults learn to apologize to children. Unhealthy secrets are no longer hidden beneath the excuse of preserving reputation. Or one person seeks help instead of continuing to suffer silently. Do not underestimate small changes. A family is not restored because everyone suddenly becomes perfect, but because people begin choosing truth instead of pretense, responsibility instead of blame, and compassion instead of condemnation. You may be the one who places the first stone, but you do not need to build the entire road in one day. At times, you may feel pressured because you believe the future of the family rests entirely upon your shoulders. I want you to put down that belief. You have an important part, but you are not solely responsible for every outcome. Pray, guide, support, and lead by example. But do not attempt to live another person's choices for them. Some people will respond quickly. Others will need more time. And some may not yet be ready to change. Do not allow their slowness to steal your peace. Love can be patient while still requiring boundaries. Compassion can hold the door open without allowing every behavior to continue without accountability. I will show you when to draw near, when to wait, and when to step back in order to protect what is healthy. Do not allow anxiety to make you imagine hundreds of possibilities and exhaust yourself over things that have never happened. When a concern arises, bring it to me honestly. You do not need elaborate words or an appearance of strength. Name what frightens you. Then do the practical thing you can complete today. If you are concerned about finances, review the plan, seek counsel, and adjust spending. If you are worried about a relative, speak respectfully instead of silently making assumptions. If you stand before a choice, investigate carefully and give yourself time to discern. Prayer does not replace responsibility. It prevents responsibility from being governed by panic. When you combine trust with wise action, your heart will gradually return to its proper rhythm.